DeForest Buckner, one of the unquestioned leaders on this team, talking about Anthony Richardson, talking about the challenges ahead with this Minnesota game, talking about the goals for the team, all of that, the need to be adults in preparation. Really good stuff from DeForest Buckner.
Like, I let AR know that, besides, despite the situation, the guy's always got his back. You know what I'm saying? And I was here, for him, and I just told him that, you got to use this moment as a growth experience and continue to develop as a quarterback and a leader, and also, just don't let this moment define him as a player, as a person. It's here for him to develop, and just it's going to help him shape into the person he's meant to be.
Well, you've been through a lot of changes here, especially at quarterback. How do you feel about the direction of this team going forward?
No, it's always adversity throughout the season, and definitely it's the quarterback carousel. But the guys are ready to rally behind Joe. And whoever it is, and that's taking the snaps and behind center row is going to have their back.
What were you surprised?
Like everybody else. You know what I mean? Obviously didn't expect it to come, but you just gotta, obviously, Shane, everybody else, they have their reasons, and we gotta, get behind it. And like I said, we're always here for Anthony, and I know that this organization is not giving up on him. That's one thing I do know, and the guys aren't in that locker room aren't giving up on him either. So it's just he's going to use this experience as a growth experience.
Bucky, I think part of that is again the tap out, which has gotten a life of its own. What was your reaction to that? Has there been too much backlash or not?
No, he knows. We all know that's not the standard. He knows that's not the standard. He's a young player. He's going to learn from it. We all know he is, and it happened. You know what I'm saying? And the guys don't shame him for it or anything about of that nature. And he's still one of the guys, and we're like I said, we got his back.
How hard do you think it maybe was for Anthony to take that role so young? He was 20 when he was drafted. It's not to say he shouldn't have been, but there are things you got to learn.
No, yeah.
And nobody really teaches you.
For sure.
Do you think that was hard for him?
I feel like it. For any quarterback, it's a hard, tough situation. You know what I mean? Especially being that young. Like you said, he's 22 years old. You got guys on the team that are 30, and these are grown men, and you're expected to lead them. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of pressure, a lot of a lot to ask for from a young kid. But we all know that he's still developing into the person that we know he can be, and the player we know he can be. And for anybody to get thrown in that situation, imagine you at 22, getting thrown into a locker room with grown men. You know what I mean? Tell them I'm like, hey, I'm your leader now. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Yeah. So it's a growing experience. You know what I mean? And these are just one of these moments where he's gonna learn from it.
Well, how did Sunday go for you physically?
Physically, I felt pretty good. You know what I mean? I was just happy to be back out there with my guys. Came out really good, from the game, and I'm excited to get on some Sunday night football.
Didn't seem like you. Maybe a little bit of pitch count. Were you surprised you played as much as you did?
No, I wasn't surprised, and I knew I was going in with a pitch count, and I was just trusting the process with the substitutions and everything, and I feel like from the training staff, from the coaches, and I feel like we all did a really good job with obviously navigating that, and kind of like easing my way back in.
With the bad ankle sprain, you kind of have to get it back to where it's pretty much good to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it?
Yeah, it's really like the last part of my rehab was mainly just the confidence. You know what I mean? Like, I know I'm going to feel some type of bite or pain or whatever, and that's part of it is the, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't able to do, the high intensity and stuff like that, and then go against guys that resistance, going against O-linemen and stuff like that. So I knew I was going to feel something, you know what I mean, out there, and it was really just gaining the confidence back for me in the last part, like the last week.
But the elephant in the room, how much do you remember or try to forget 33-0? Last trip in.
Yeah, all the time. You know what I mean? Obviously, watching the Vikings play, that game comes to mind every time. So it's definitely it's a tough pill to swallow, and just watching film and everything. You obviously remember those moments, and obviously being back out there. So when we get there, just can't get let off the gas.
Well, Shane was saying that he made the decision to change quarterbacks and trying to win now. Not saying we're trying to win before. Obviously, there's pressure on this situation because the quarterback is 39 now.
Yeah.
the future and the difference. So for you, how did them just change the outlook or pressurize to make good on that promise of making the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it doesn't change for me. The pressure doesn't change. I mean, when we're lining up and competing every Sunday, I mean, obviously you're competing to make the playoffs, and the ultimate goal, obviously is a Super Bowl for everybody. And then if that's not your goal every year, I mean, why are you here? You know what I mean? So, I mean, the goal is to win, each and every game. And I mean, this is the path that they thought was, going to help us win the most games. So, I mean, we're focused on right now. And like I said before, I know this team, this organization is not giving up on Anthony, and I know that he's going to be prepared for his next opportunity.
Clark, first primetime game of the season. How excited are you to get out on that national stage?
Yeah, very excited. It's been a while since we had a nationally televised game. The only ones that are out there playing. So it's going to be a great opportunity for everybody to show everybody what we got.
That's DeForest Buckner, and you get the thought listening to him talk about this game and the demotion of Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco being up and him needing to be on kind of his game, this entire team 53 going to Minnesota trying to get a win. You get the idea that while this is a different week for us, it's a different week for you as we look ahead to this challenge on Sunday night up in the Twin Cities. It's not different for them. This is Thursday.